One road game under the belt. What did you really see from the team now this was their first time in real action away from your home court?
Yeah, we looked pretty much like we did at home. You know, they did a nice job of traveling and playing on the same day, handling the game plan, and there weren't many surprises. But ACU had a good crowd. It was a good environment, nice way to start on the road, and we responded well.
And a fun thing to see with this team is you guys, with last year with so many of those ones being close, not being able to quite finish out, to see this year's team not just win in a dominating fashion or in a normal good win, but also the tight one against Rice. Has it been nice to see the team in different circumstances respond, but still come out with that win?
Yeah, absolutely. And regardless of what our situation has been, they've had the same demeanor regardless. So down 0-2 against Rice, you wouldn't have known we were down 0-2. They really did a good job. They put a little pressure on themselves. They kicked their urgency up a little bit, but they didn't panic in any way. They didn't start pointing fingers. They didn't start to doubt themselves. It all looked good, and so that's a really good sign that they're maturing and they're confident in what they're doing.
Did that help you breathe a little bit over these last two? One, to have a comeback win over Rice. One, to just see that they could do it, but also that they got the win. But also then see them on the road. Has that been It's just been kind of a breather to have so early in the season, see them be tested in those different ways and just how they've responded?
Yeah, absolutely. You think you know what your team is and what they're all about, but until you put them in a situation, you don't really know. And so I feel like we've been in a couple of these different spots so far, and they've responded really well. So it's good for us because we can put more of our attention on the other side of the net and figuring out how to beat them instead of trying to get ourselves on track or get our mind right. So that part I love, and we don't have to stress so much about the mental state of our team. We can just focus on getting it done.
Has that been one of the biggest, what's the biggest thing, the difference you've seen from last year? Is there a different swagger to the team, or is it a focus? What have you noticed just early on so far?
Yeah, they just seem less spastic, less panicked, less erratic. They just seem a lot smoother. We seem a lot more balanced with what we're trying to do. They adapt to game plans really easily. And as we change what we want to do, we're changing, what rotation we start in. We're doing more matchups across the net and trying to find some things that are really going to work well for us. And we can throw a lot of different things at them. We've been playing a lot of different players early on, trying to get a lot of the younger players as much time as we can. You've seen Alex Kirby come in and set, and nobody changes anything. It looks the same as when Missy's in there. So I love all these things about our team, just how flexible they are and how well they play with each other regardless of the combination that we've got out there.
Specifically with ACU, you guys had obviously a pretty dominating good performance. What did you really see from the team that worked so well yesterday?
I thought we served pretty tough, and it made it hard for them to have more than one option, so it was easy for our block. And they just made a lot of errors, so that was obviously easy on our end. So we just kept the momentum and kept serving tough.
Was it nice that there's a long road trip coming up, but for this first game to be on the road, was it nice to be away and see how you guys would perform, not with the home crowd, not with being in the same gym you've been in all summer?
Yeah, it was a good adjustment for sure. About to be on a nice long road trip, and I think it was nice for all the new kids to see what it's like on a road trip, and we bussed down there, so you got the whole experience, which was nice, and a kind of a learning experience. I mean, the older kids are used to it, but they got to feel what we did on game day.
Specifically with starting off 4-0, when I guess you look at the season overall, has it been nice that it's kind of been in different ways? With ACU was a little more dominating, you had the comeback against Rice, and then a little tighter, but good wins for the first two of the season. Has it been nice to see this team win in different ways, but keep winning throughout that?
Yeah, I mean, the Rice one especially shows us we can come back from 2-0, so that's a good booster for us. And then just to go on the road and blow out ACU at home is also helps build our self-esteem. So I think we're doing a pretty good job so far.
And obviously for you personally to go back to California for this tournament, what does it mean for you, both on the court performing, but also just off, just to be back there?
I mean, I love going home, but it's going to be nice to play in front of my friends and family that were with me at the beginning when I started playing, who haven't come out here yet. So it's going to be bittersweet, but kind of my final tour home to play.
Is there something you really want to see, both really for this whole road trip coming up for the next 2.5, 3 weeks, whatever it is, but also specifically this one that you want to see, because this will be the first extended road trip out, because Abilene not too far away and it's only one game anyway, but now that it'll be an extended one, what do you really want to see from the team?
Just our focus. I mean, traveling's hard on everyone, no matter who you are, and I think it's just a different environment. We're not used to it, and we have some pretty good teams lined up, so it's going to be a test for the new kids, but I think the older kids can hold it down.
Is it, whenever you talk, like you have the youth of this team, but also the experience you guys have brought back, is it a balancing act during, when do you notice like those kind of differences between the youth and the experience? Was that during more of a practice thing or during the games? Do you notice that?
Both. I mean, for me, they're just a lot younger than me, and they're like nervous, and I'm like, I don't get nervous anymore. It's my 5th year. Like, we've been doing it for a long time. But just like kind of calming them down, and I forget that they don't know certain things. And I mean, it's just a learning experience for both of us, because I have to like switch my role and help them, like accommodate them. So it's a good balance to keep us on our toes, definitely. So I think they do a pretty good job.
So Katie Keenan's numbers are sky high this year so far. I guess just how much do you attribute that to the chemistry that y'all have?
Yeah, I think we work pretty well together. She's great. I can give her any type of ball, and she'll find a way to put it away, so it just makes it easy on me. But I think when I'm front row, the slide setter duo works pretty well for us, so it's a big advantage to her, and she gets me open too, so it's kind of, we play off each other very nicely.